Now then, it's tips, tricks and handy hints night, so I thought I'd have a beginning of the week tips, tricks and handy hints. Basically, as you can see by the title, it is the D-rig stroke anti-eject rig stroke hook. So that's what I'm going to make tonight, is basically D-rig hooks. So how did I start making these? Well, many moons ago, when I lived in Sweden, well, 2000 to 2010, I lived in Sweden. Obviously, carp fishing over there, the carp tackle was very hard to come by. So you had to import it from good old Blighty if you wanted the top of the range, all singing, all dancing, can you not knock it stuff. But of course, yeah, if I couldn't buy it, I'd make it myself. So basically, yeah, I saw them D-rig hooks, the anti-eject hooks, and I decided to make them myself, and I did, and I used them a hell of a lot in Sweden to a lot of success. So basically, there it is. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the anti-eject rig, or the anti-eject hook that I'm going to make tonight. Right, so what are you going to need? Well, first things first, you're going to need a vice. I've had that for about 30 years. So basically it's a fly tying vice. Okay, very cheap and chatty one. Gotta be 30 years old, that, easy. I've had that by the bottom of my tackle box. Yeah, okay, now I think Julius Caesar was fly tying at the time I got that. Yeah, so you're going to need a vice, a fly tying vice. Then the other fly tying gear you're going to need is one of these bobbin holders. And if you lose it like that, you've got to thread it all the way back through again. So basically, it's a bobbin holder again for fly tying. So that's a bobbin holder with fly tying. I wouldn't say it's cotton. Don't even know what it's called. Can't remember. I've got the packet here somewhere. Let me have a look. Tips, tricks and handy hints. Can't find a packet. There we go. Quality materials and components from McHardy's. Yes, that's where I got it from. Obviously it's for fly tying, but it's not cotton out of your mum's sewing basket, because that's it's fucking tow rope. Yeah, this is very fine. It's like a very fine cotton. Whipping thread, if you want to call it. I don't know. Either way, you're going to need one of them, and of course, yeah, some thread. Yeah, I'm using black. Yeah, specifically designed for fly tying. Then what I'm going to use for, of course, the little the bit of the that comes off the shank of the hook, is what I use is amnesia. Okay, that's £25 amnesia. Okay, and it's obviously clear. I used to use black in Sweden, but don't suppose it matters. The reason I'm right, bit of a technical difficulty there, i.e. the memory card was full after the pike fishing bonanza at the weekend, which is another video coming soon. Right, so I said I use clear amnesia £25. Why do we use that? Because I haven't got any black. I used to use £25 black in Sweden, but I've only got £15. No, sorry, that's £25 as well. I've only got £15 black amnesia. So what is amnesia? Well, memory free amnesia. Yeah, the thing is with amnesia, with that, what you do is you can just pull it and it's memory free. Basically you can pull it and it straightens out. As you can see, it straightens itself out, doesn't kink, doesn't coil up again, hence the name amnesia, memory free. Lose your mind, lose your marbles. Right, so what else you're going to need is some hooks, and just for the purposes of this I'm using Fox Armour Point LSBs, barbless, size 4. Again, might be able to see that better now, but basically that's the hook I'm using. Yeah, I'm using a size 4. I don't like using size 4s, but again, bigger the hook here, the better it is to see, easier to see is. Right, so need that. Gonna need, of course, some shrink tube. Ding dang do. Yeah, shrink tube. What else are you going to need? You're going to need some, I use super glue. Yeah, that little bottle I showed you in previous videos. But I'm thinking about having a dab with the old poly cement as well, maybe. I've ordered some, I'll have a go with it. But it's a bit hard, I'm afraid. Been in my box for making floats for lots of years, and it's harder than Mike Tyson on crack that at the moment. So I'll have to get some more of that, but I'm using super glue for now. Does the job. That's what I used to use in Sweden. Right, what else do we need? We need, obviously, our little ring swivel. I'm sure I had some here. Yes, I did in here. Basically, little ring with a bait screw on. Super duper. Right, so that's that. So hook, basically fly tying thread, that's black. Yeah, bobbin holder, a fly tying vise, obviously hooks, your bait screw and your shrink tube and a hook length. I'm just having to use ProLogic Reptilian for this one. Yeah, just for demonstration purposes only. I'm just going to tie it on, but of course I'll probably use it at some point. Yeah, happy days. Super duper. Right, so that's the equipment you're going to need, and of course a pair of braid blades or skizzers. Yeah, whatever your choice is. I've got 3 different sizes because I couldn't quite make my mind up, but I'm going to go with the braid blades. NGT, cheap as chips. Yeah, for cutting thread. Don't need to pay 186 quid for a pair of braid blades, do I? Yeah, it's for cutting braid. Yeah, tip top. Lovely. Right, so what we'll do, yeah, we'll get down to the making of it. Okay, the whipping it on, etc, etc. Step-by-step guide, Screen and Delkin style, of the D-rig hook, anti-eject hook, whatever you want to call it. Either way, that's what's coming next. Tips, handy testicles. Right then, so we've got the vise. Of course, yeah, you got to set the jaws at the correct size for the hook. Obviously, I'm using a size 4 long shank arm, front barbless, and snip it in there. Happy days. Okay, so the hook's in there. Then I'm going to need a length of 25 pound amnesia. Only need a little length. Where's my cheap and chatties? Got a bit off. It's about the size of it. Super duper. Right, so now what I'm going to do, yeah, obviously that's nice and straight. I'm just going to place that onto the hook there. Grab my bobbin and my thread, and I'm just going to basically whip that on a couple of times. If I can get it. Again, it is a bit finicky, so I'm going to whip that on. I'm just going to shorten the length of that just a minute. Makes it easier to work with. Obviously this bit here is for your finger and thumb, and then just whip it round there, and I'm just going to go back on myself. So there we go. That's the first bit basically. And then you can adjust it from there up and down the shank to wherever you want it, but obviously running flush with the back of the shank. And then once I'm happy with that, again, just going to hold it in place. I'm going to whip back down the shank. So I've gone basically just a couple of loops, couple of whips, then whip back over the whips just to hold it, and now I'm whipping back down again. There again, you're going to have to watch the point of the hook there. There we go, I'm just going to bend that over to see if it's in the correct place. That'll do, mate. And I'm just going to snip off the tag end there. Again, made many of these in Sweden, but never filmed it. There we go, so whipped off the tag end. Then I'm just going to carry on off the end of that and then down the shank of the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to fold the amnesia through the eye of the hook. But first, of course, we've got to put on our bait screw, or whatever you want to use. Ring swivel, bait screw, yeah, ring, yeah, whatever you want to use. And then fold that through and push it through the eye of the hook. Then you're going to get your chosen length, basically, like that. And again, very fiddly this. Get the chosen length, hold it there, and then again start whipping over the hook and of course over the amnesia. Yes, this one does want to play the game today. There we go. Yes, this is a new threader bobbin. It keeps going off not central. So basically there we go. Tying that together and then just keep whipping down to the end. Hold that there. Just going to tighten it up a bit. Then I'm going to pop the amnesia back through the eye of the hook, like so, and then just trim it off. Happy days. Lovely, jubbly. Can you not knock it? Come and have a look at what you could have won. Okay, a little bit of tag in there of the old cotton, so I'm just going to trim that off, just neaten things up a bit. Okay, then right the way down to the end. Yes, this doesn't want to play, this one. Brand new, it's a bit dicky. Right the way down to the end, and then I'm just gonna, yes, I'm gonna have to open that up a bit. Got a dodgy bobbin holder, and then just tie them off. Look, that is not how it's supposed to be. It is supposed to be like that, and then it just spins off, but this one ain't playing the game, something wrong with it. I'll have to fine tweak it very shortly. And just loop over the top just to tie off. Again, trying to film, it is a bit fiddly. So a quick check of that, and then I'm just going to dab that with a little bit of glue, only a little bit of super glue. Then I've got my coffee stirrer, and a little bit on the whipping at the top. Yep. And of course that will stop it unravelling. Nick that off. I'll have to get another one of them. Keeps going like that. It's supposed to stay like that. And then keep the cotton or the thread, whatever you want to call it, through that hole, because it's a right nightmare to put it back. Right, so when that's dried, I'm going to fold the tag end over. Super. So there we have it. That is it whipped on. Now obviously we've got to tidy things up now, haven't we, and make the actual rig itself. Again, you don't have to put one of these on, you can put a swivel on. A micro swivel, you can put O-ring micro swivel, you can put just a rig ring, latex band through, bit of dental floss or whatever you want to do, to attach your bait. Your options are limitless. So that's that. Then obviously I'm going to need to tie the rig on. So I'll grab myself a bit of shrink tube. I'm just using clear shrink tube for this. Place it over the top, up to the part where the amnesia is basically whipped to the hook. Measure it off for my little kicker. Trim it off there. Happy days. I'm going to get hook length. Again, just cut a piece off, doesn't really matter, it's just for demonstration this. And then I'm going to obviously take the coating off for that. And just tie it on. So I'm going to tie that on, and then I'm going to put the shrink tube on. So what I've done there, obviously I've just been and put the shrink tube on, steamed it with the kettle, and that's the finished article basically with the hook length on. Again, you can use any hooks you like. Obviously if it's a shorter shank, then you can just put a little D on it, and then you can make a load up, stick them in your box, or you can obviously tie the rigs to them. It's up to you, but either way, that's just tied into the eye, and the shrink tube, as you can see, is just over to where it starts getting whipped onto the shank of the hook there, the amnesia. There's one, and again another one I made earlier. Ready to go. Rock and roll. Happy days. So there we have it. So again, the D-rig hook, the anti-eject hook, used it a lot in Sweden. You can use them with bottom baits and pop-ups. And again, it's just a guide, isn't it? To give you an idea of how to make them. And of course, it's just a little bit of fly tying gear. Make your own. Okay. Again, you can use any hooks. If you want to use 15-pound amnesia, I suppose you can use that. You can use any line really. I just use amnesia because I can straighten it out and it doesn't start flapping about as much as probably normal line would. But again, that's what I use, amnesia, fly tying tools, and whipping it to the shank of the hook. There you have it. Tips, tricks, and handy hints. Right, that's it. It's only a quick one tonight. A little bit of a tips, tricks, and handy hints. I'm going to think about either knocking the pike fishing video up from the weekend or lounging on the couch like a dirty fat slob. See you later, kids. Top bomber.